What's up, guys? Welcome to the I Love CVille Show. It's Jerry Miller. It's good to be with you on a gorgeous freaking Friday across Charlottesville and Central Virginia. It is hot outside. It is cool inside because Dropping Julia is in the house, baby. We are going to play 4 to 5 songs of, I think, just phenomenal music here on the I Love CVille Show. We're going to introduce you to a band that I think needs no introduction. They are undoubtedly making an impact in Charlottesville and Central Virginia. I'm excited to watch their band and their brand grow and expand throughout the Commonwealth, and we'll talk to them about their growth story, their goals, what they have in mind for the next year, 2, 3 years as a band, as they expand their palette musically, as they expand their palette from a brand standpoint as well. We'll get to Dropping Julia here in a matter of moments. Before we do, let's thank some of the fine folks that make the program possible. First, Intrastate Pest and Service Companies. I don't know if you realize this, but this business that is now 4 generations strong, nearly 100 employees, and a Commonwealth-wide footprint. It started in 1969 with 1 man and 1 truck, Mr. Wells. He would go to his first home, he'd service the home successfully, and then in 1969 would head to a payphone where he would call his second customer and say, "Hey, can I come visit you now?" Now, 4 generations strong, almost 100 employees, Commonwealth-wide footprint. We have the headquarters right around the corner from Bodo's Bagels on Harris, an office in Richmond, an office in the Shenandoah Valley, and they're undoubtedly making Charlottesville and the community better. We'll also give some love to Scott Wagner of Scott Wagner Chiropractic and Sports Medicine, chiropractic care, physical therapy, sports medicine. He is improving people's lives. His team in the old Quinn Farmer Auction House. Who's got your back? Dr. Scott Wagner has your back, guys. On any of the 7 channels that you are watching, I encourage you to give the show a like and a share, just like Bill Granford did in Philadelphia, just like Tim Ryan has done in Crozet, just like Rick Henderson just did in Richmond, just like some people on your stream, like Peter Daniel and Charles Cavasi. Kavusi, watching the show right now. Give it a like, give it a share. Harris Tolber, Judah Wickower, and the team upstairs help make this program possible. Thank you, Lauren Linsky, another producer on this program. Welcome Sarah Hill-Buchinsky and Larry Rhodes to the show. Harris Tolber, studio cam. Let's go to Dropping Julia. In the house, we have Emily, Alex, Niko, and Sean. We're about to play 4 to 5 songs over the next hour. We're going to make your lunch break a little bit better. We're going to start with Emily on the who, what, when, where, and why of Dropping Julia.
Wow. So, hello, I'm Emily Kresky, and I'm the singer and songwriter and guitarist of Dropping Julia. That's the who. The where, why, and how really, I guess, began about a year and a half ago when I I've lived in Virginia for 5.5 years now, but went back to New Jersey, where I'm from, for a little while, and then came back with this idea of, bringing all my original songs into a band format. And it kind of was like a slow start. I was trying to find different people to play with, and I was playing with a few people. We were going down to New Orleans for the Jazz Fest, and we were going to play some late night shows, and someone we were supposed to play with had to drop out, the bassist, and I did one practice with Niko over there, and I was like, "Hey, you want to come down to New Orleans and hang out for a week and play music?" And he was like, "Sure, why not?" So we did, and that's kind of how Dropping Julia started. Me and Niko were the core, and then we brought Sean on in the summer, and we stole Alex in September, and so over the last year, it's just been kind of coming together, and we've been building up our songs and our travels and all that. It's been really fun.
I love it. I'm going to talk about musical influences. We'll ask you to categorize the type of music. Ariana Mikowitz says, what up, dog? Give it a like, give it a share on any stream that you guys are watching. Sean.
First of all, thank you, Ariana. She took all of our promo photos, and they are incredible. And it was such a pleasure to work with her. I would say, to categorize what we sound like, I'd say melancholy surfer rock with gypsy jazz, and I would say even R&B influence on that.
I love it. You're getting some prompts on your feed from Charles. Is it Kavusi? Oh, Charles Kavusi. On multiple feeds.
Charles is the man. He's got his own band up in Annapolis, Maryland, and we love seeing him perform too. It's great to have you, Charles.
Welcome to the show, Will Vanderlyn. Love you, Will. Love you, homie. Let's get Niko in the mix. Musical influences for you and perhaps the band in totality.
For me, we listen to a lot of, I listen to like Snarky Puppy, and I showed Emily Billie Eilish the other day, and that informed, basically wrote, I showed her Billie Eilish, and she came back with a song that was like super dope. and sounded like that, and I was like, I like that kind of like vibe. So we got a little bit of everything, really.
Thank
You
you,
know,
Niko.
like meters. Listen to the meter. It's like all of our music we basically listen to in the car when we're driving to gigs, because we tour like all over the place and go drive for 3 hours. We drive for like 6 hours to play 2 hours. You know, it's stupid, but we love it, and so it's a lot of music in the car and a lot of driving. You know.
Love that answer. Jeff Kresky, family.
Yes, my dad. Hi,
Watching
Dad.
right now. John Gilmer's watching in D.C.
John.
Tim Ryan's watching Crozet. Jonathan Galasso in Richmond. Let's get Alex Bragg in the mix. A mandolin.
Yes, sir.
You normally play the guitar.
That's right.
Talk to me about that.
Well, I play bass guitar, mandolin, a little banjo, although I don't own one. But, we decided since we're kind of doing the low-key acoustic thing, we would try out the mandolin on this.
First time.
Except for me, like I'm the only one without an acoustic instrument.
Yeah, what do you got over there? You got the bass on an amp.
Yeah, I got a bass and amp.
He's a rebel.
Yeah, where's your upright, Nico?
Michael Clem plays an upright
He
bass.
does.
And he
I mean,
does
I
so
play
well.
I play an upright. I own one. I just like it's heavy, man.
It's tough to transport. Yeah.
It's not a lunchtime instrument.
Yeah.
Jay Wyatt watching in Keswick. All right, I know my role, guys. My role is to shut up and let the band do their thing. I'm going to get out of the way here. Emily, you set the stage of song one and what we're about to hear.
Cool. So we just released an album about 3 days ago. It's called Wake Up, and it's our first full-length album. So this song is on that album. We're going to play it. I wrote this one. This is the oldest song actually on the album. I wrote it acoustically in 2014. It's called Little One, and then I revamped it with these guys about a year ago, and it's on the album in a totally different form and than when I wrote it, and we're going to play it now. One, two, three. Little one, I see your face. The pain is so hard to erase. I see myself, I stand in your place. You can leave me, all of this I can take. Your heart is beat, it's hurt all around the world. My sanity is too steep. The more you hurt, I'll speak so you don't have to. I'll sing so you can sleep. I'll stand so you can understand yourself. I'll hear so you can breathe. Little one, stars in your eyes. No goal at the end of your sight. Life gets you down. You're too proud to hide. The sun will still rise
Yes, that was so good, so good, and you guys are getting props from some people right now. It's you might have to help me with some names. Mitchell Warnick.
Oh, Mitchell Warren.
Yeah.
She's Mitch. He's my buddy.
Say woohoo. Travis Jackson says you guys
Travis.
sound great.
Aw, thanks,
Katrina Louise Summers, a little one is my fave.
Aw, thanks, Kat.
Taylor Bell, this is awesome to wake up to. 12:45 and waking up right now. Taylor Bell.
Hey, server life.
Server.
Wake up,
Yeah.
our new album just dropped too.
I love it. April Porter says, what up? Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Nice.
Katrina Louise Summers, yay, dropping Julia. Sean, you got some peeps giving you some props as well. We will get to that. Alec from Junction, who I think just went to
Alec.
Public, is watching right now. What up, Alec?
What up, Alex?
Lindsay Nicole Wright. Hey, Sean, you're looking good.
Oh.
Well, thank you.
Oh.
What about Niko?
What about Nico over here? Nico, are you on Facebook? I don't think Nico's
I'm
on
always
Facebook.
looking good. That's the difference.
Amy
don't need no
you
compliments.
are always looking good right there. Amy Motz Myers says, what up? Gretchen Thomas says, what up? Lori Hermick says, hello. Jana Grovenveld, I'm messing your name up, I'm sorry. Charles says, what up as well. Talk to us about what we just heard, the inspiration, everything.
So, Sean always like gets on me because he said I have like a photographic memory. So I do, I think. I remember where I was when I wrote every single song. It's so crazy where I started and where I finished it. So I wrote this song in my room when I first moved to Charlottesville about 5.5 years ago. And it was a basement room. So it was like all alone and dark. Dungy. There was cave crickets. It was gross. And I wrote it on acoustic. It was like right when I started writing songs. And I was thinking about my mom and about how when I was a teenager, I was really difficult and put her through a lot, I'm sure. And now that I'm older, you know, I'm in my 20s, I can more clearly see that instead of being selfish about it. So I was thinking about her, and so it's called Little One. So it's kind of written from her perspective of what she went through, you know, loving me, but also being worried about me.
The song sounds great. You're getting
Thank
props. Sean, I'm going to relay some props that you're getting and then ask your take on the song. Amy Motz Myers says hi from King, North Carolina. Jana McGovern, is it Grovel?
Jana McGovern Grunewald, that's my sister.
She says you sound great, shiny boy.
Thanks, Jana girl.
Tell us about the song, what you just heard right there.
So that's actually one of my favorite songs that we play. Actually, during the album release, Emily's mom joined her on stage and did backup harmonies for it, and it was really sweet. And the song just really speaks to a lot of people. The lyrics are encouraging, but they're also a little stern, and it's definitely a mother like wanting their daughter to do right by her and herself, but also like being like, this world's a dark, scary place, and I just want to take care of you. So it's a really sweet song, and it's just a pleasure to play. So
Jess Martin says great stuff. Absolutely loving the show so far. Nico,
Thanks, Jess.
get you in the mix. Talk to us, and yes, we pull it from the microphone. I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
I didn't like pull it out of the stand though.
It was perfectly. It's a live show. Talk to us about what you love about the song. We'll throw it to you as well.
I mean, besides my bass line, no. I really like I honestly, my favorite part of playing that song is like the dynamic between the you know, the I guess chorus part or whatever, but you know, we do it slow and kind of like you see it fully realized. I'm like much more, Alex like knows all the lyrics to the songs, and he's been playing how long with us?
Well,
Like a couple of months.
September.
Yeah.
8
But
months,
and like
8
I've been
months.
playing with Emily the longest easily, and I don't know any of the words.
Is that like typical?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Our catchphrase for Niko is, I don't know the words, I just play the bass.
Yeah.
Dude, you play a sick bass though.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
really sick bass. Alex, jump in here. Your thoughts?
So, you know, I really enjoy Emily's songwriting style, and one of my favorite things about it is how open she is to kind of the criticism's not quite the right word, but formative
Feedback?
intake, from these two guys. You know, they're really like doing everything they can to make sure the rhythm is super tight and like interesting all the way through, and it really just makes it easy for me to like kind of jump on board and give it a little flair, and I love playing with these guys. It's
Let's
great.
get the audience in the mix here, and you guys are getting some props right here. Rain Connie Matternick. Wonderful songwriting, absolutely
right.
wonderful songwriting. Julia Mariana Bell, friend of yours. Awesome. You guys rock. Alex is a musical genius. Wow.
Julia said that?
Alex
Dropping
is a musical
Julia.
genius. Guys, give
Thanks,
the show
Julia.
a like and a share on any stream that you are watching. A like and a share, and we'll relay your message, if you have any, to Dropping Julia on set. Rick Henderson says, I'm loving the show from Richmond on my lunch break in the office, although my coworkers are not. So who cares? I think some folks in the building might be saying the same here in the Immaculate on Market
Oh,
Street.
man.
We are loving the show. The show is absolutely fire. Song 2.
Song 2. So we're going to do an older song that is not yet released on an album. It shall be on the next album.
Okay.
It's called Cry. And I guess I'll explain what it's about after we play.
Okay.
One, a two, a three. Why you out so late? Where you been today? What's with all these lies creeping through the pines? You cannot escape, so don't run for the gate. Just come and dance with me. Pretend you're free. Oh baby, why do you cry? You look so shy. Why don't you loosen up your stride? I can count the years since I've shed tears. I've spent many nights dreaming I could fly. I can't run away. All the roads look the same. The devil sways my hips. He's got me to lose my grip. And he smiles wide. Oh, why do you cry? Those magic eyes won't let me see inside. No one can say which card he'll draw and play. They can't explain the spell that's underway. The more I cry, the less I see the light. So I'll just sit and watch my
Oh, so good. So good. Dude, you were making the mandolin sing. Oh
This
my
might become
gosh.
part of the thing now.
It was like fire. I mean, you were singing a song right there with that mandolin. Emily, tell us about the song, please.
All right, so this is one of those songs that I kind of just wrote. The lyrics just poured out of me, and I didn't really know what it was about at first. That kind of happens. I feel like it's just, like musical and creative throw up onto the page. And
Those
then
are the best sometimes.
Yeah, they are the best. And over time, I realized that I write a lot of my songs about like inner feelings, and then I personify them in stories, which is pretty cool to be able to do that. It's like therapy. And What? I was talking to my boss the other day, actually, and I was telling her how these guys used to get on me a lot because my songs like have a lot of creepy lyrics to them. And sometimes, like, when there's only a little bit of time in between songs on stage, I'll be like, this song's about getting kidnapped. And just like start playing it, and they're like, don't say that. Like,
this song's about a brothel in front of a bunch of children. But I guess they don't know what it is, so it's fine.
They don't. So anyway, this song, it's about feelings of being trapped, like, emotionally or in a physical place. But specifically, I guess it was inspired by when I was woofing. Anyone out there heard of woofing? It stands for Worldwide Opportunities for Organic Farmers. You work on farms for free, but in exchange for food and a place to stay, and it's a cool, easy way to travel the world. So I was doing that in Ireland when I was 22, and I somehow got not caught, but I ended up on this farm that was just super weird, and it was definitely a cult, and I stayed for less than 24 hours, and it was in the middle of nowhere. Like, I took a bus out to kind of the middle of nowhere, and then the guy who led it, like the alpha male, he picked me up and drove me to the farm, and there was this is a true story, there was other women there, like 3 other young women like myself who were like 21, 22, and they were just really weird, and I felt really trapped there, and I was freaked out, and then I lasted one night, and the next morning I was like, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna hitchhike out of here. So I left and I went and stayed on some other cool farms instead. But so, I feel like that was kind of, that song was inspired by the feeling of being trapped in this, random place in this foreign country.
It's a great song. Evan Gray, bass, and sounding great, guys. I mean, we're getting a lot of props on the feed right now. I'm going to relay some of the listeners' comments. Julia, good friend of the program from Junction. I think, are you still expecting Julia? Did she deliver the twins? She's still expecting. Great friend. Yeah, she's watching right now. Great friend of the show. Emily's voice is so enchanting. That mandolin, though. Giving you props on the mandolin. Kristen, where are you at, Kristen? Danielle says, so much talent in one band. My daughter is literally dancing away right now while listening to you guys. Taylor Cook says, what up?
Hey, Taylor.
Give the show a like, give it a share anywhere you're watching. Margaret Matthews says, so sweet. Sean, jump in here. Talk to us about the song.
So actually, this song was fully written by the time I joined with the band, and it had there was a drummer before I was playing with the band, and the drum beat that he had, I listened to it a couple times, the recording of it. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to play this. So then I was like, I'm just gonna make it a little jazzy and take it back a little bit, make it relaxed, and then it kind of like changed the tone of the song, took on a jazzier, darker vibe than I think it already had. And Niko's line just like, it needed that, I think, and it's so fun to play. It's really dark, and but it has like a nice feel to it, and then it's kind of always like a juxtaposition to hear these crazy deep dark lyrics, and then you look at Emily and she's just like playing her guitar and strumming and smiling, and it's hilarious. But it's got to get on an album soon, I think. Meg Taylor in D.C. just gave the show and you guys props. John Gilmer just interacted with the program. Thank you, John. He's watching in Charlotte. João Henrique Martins Costa watching the program. Fabio Joseph watching the program. Niko, you jump in here. I'm going to pass that mic arm to you. All right. Talk to us about the song. What you love about it.
This song, I really just like the vibe. It's a very vibey kind of song. It's not, you don't do too much. You're not ever really trying to like overplay or show off really on it, except for maybe Alex on the mandolin. But it's definitely more of just like this feeling, and that's really cool when you can get it out of a song and get it while playing the song. You kind of feel this sort of like dark. Kind of, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I said vibe like way too many times already, and I really don't want to anymore. Yeah.
How about Alex the mandolin? I mean, it's flawless.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Did you not?
One
practice.
We're like blessed to have. Blessed.
I mean, I honestly thought, and this is no bullshit, I thought the mandolin was like, you guys have been playing with the mandolin for like years. With sitting next to it. I was getting goosebumps. You made it sing, dude.
Awesome.
Talk to me about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think Emily said this, her songwriting is self-proclaimed spooky and kooky and all that.
Spooky and kooky.
Yeah.
Adam's family.
And, it really just has to have that, like, kind of like like Sean was saying, that like kind of gypsy jazz vibe to it. It's to steal your word, Niko. But you know, it's got to have, a lot of these songs have like a darkness to them that like mandolin fits perfectly over. And truth be told, we did intentionally choose some keys that are more form-fitting for the mandolin. But you know, I had the distinct advantage of knowing all the chords before we got together for practice. So we banged it out yesterday, and I was like, this sounds really good.
Sounds so good. I mean, could the song change for the integration of the mandolin?
You mean all the songs?
No, just that. I mean, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
Well, on the album, there's a violin player from Richmond, John. He's such a pleasure to play with, as well as we didn't have Nick Birkin on the album, did we? Is your buddy from Georgia or something like that?
Alabama.
That's
Crispy's
it.
from Alabama.
Yeah.
Crispy.
Crispy's.
Oh, gotcha. I thought it was crispy.
Crispy's on the keys.
I like it. John Kelly, who's a fabulous singer-songwriter, guitar player, he says you guys sound awesome. David Mio, Emily, I am so proud of you. Doug Niven, who I think is watching on his lunch break on NBC 29 right down the street. He says, what up? Guys, I'm going to get out of the way. Set the stage for song 3, please.
Okay. So song 3 is on the album. Wrote this one also in my bedroom, but about 2 or 3 years ago, maybe. It's called The Station. And yeah, it's a sad song too, but it's more upbeat and poppy than some of the other sad ones. I wouldn't say this is creepy, but it's about getting cheated on.
Okay, from the heart.
From the heart. It's creepy. Niko's gonna kick this one off. Run to my arms, come so far. Clock is ticking, you're a child of the stars. You just don't know, but you'll learn soon enough. Change your heart, love, change your style. Read between the cracks and the smiles, been long enough since your eyes opened up. Dreamers say we're on the other side of the moon at the station, sharing breakfast, coffee at noon. When I awake alone in the spoon, I was mistaken too. Leave your photographs at the door. Turn your mind and pretend you're back for more. And please don't go until I've opened up. Dreamers say we're on the other side of the moon at the say. Dream I say. I was mistaken too. Thank you so much.
So good. Your vocals, and you're getting a lot of props on the vocals right here.
Cool.
Andrew Neal, and I totally agree with this. I've been listening here at Hawks Nest. Very cool vibe. Emily, your vocals are very unique, clear, and a beautiful mix of dark to light. Love the sound you create. The band adds a very full sound as well. Peace to you. Music makes a difference in this jello world. Much respect. I totally love the vocals.
Thank you so much.
I mean, they're like raspy and soulful and full of like heart and pain and tell a story. And like you go through this like this roller coaster ride of emotions with each of your songs, and like I feel it.
Thank you.
I feel it.
Cry.
I truly mean that. I mean, and sitting close to you like this, like I feel it even more. Just talk to me about like your vocal dexterity, the vocal ride that the listeners experiencing with you.
Oh gosh, it's I kind of feel like I mean. I haven't taken any vocal lessons. I really should. I took like one round. I took like a 4-week thing one time. But I didn't like even realize that I liked to sing until I was 19 and started playing guitar. I think I was like way too shy before that. So I don't even know how I came into the way I sang. I just I think it like grew hand in hand with my songwriting. So like the way I sing, it just kind of is shaped by the songs that I write and the songs that I sing and the emotions behind it. And then I've obviously like picked up little fun things along the way, like the I guess the raspiness. I don't know if that's kind of inherent or if I've picked that up, or I don't know. It's just kind of it's evolved a lot, and I enjoy the emotion behind the songwriting.
It's like bluesy, it's like funky, it's like soulful. I mean, I feel like it's so hard to categorize Dropping Julia because I feel like your vocals and the fellas, like you guys like do such a great job of like fostering and like putting the foundation in place and like championing her vocals and like taking them to another level. I mean, talk to me
Grateful
about
for that.
I mean,
yeah.
Honestly, if you had to put something to it, that's what we're here for. I mean, the vocals are definitely the highlight of all of us. It's the story behind every song. It's the way that she sings it, the way that we perform it. Alex was talking earlier. We sit, me and Niko, when she brings us a new song, it's like she has a little recording on her iPhone. She's like, "Is this anything?" And then we're like, "Oh yeah, it is." And then we just tear into it, and then we practice it for 2 hours, and we come back a week later, and Niko's like, "Okay, so I've been thinking about this for a whole week. We're gonna take it down a half step. You're not gonna play that. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that, and you need to repeat the chorus at the end." And we're like, "Okay, cool." And then we do it, and yeah, it's fun. We're yeah. If he wasn't there, we would just have fun and shoot the shit in the basement and really wouldn't get anything done.
I'm gonna throw this to both you guys and put the mic in the middle. And Katrina Louise Summers, she says one of my favorite local bands, Rapunzel's Coffee and Books. No shows for us this weekend, but please support local artists like Dropping Julia. They rock. Ariana also shared the show. Give it a like, give it a share anywhere you're watching. Literally have folks watching on Long Island, outside New York, outside Chicago, Charlotte, DC, in Richmond, in Charleston, New Mexico. Seems like someone's watching in Hawaii, and I'm going to throw them to you. Brian Haverlock, aloha, Emily.
Hey, Brian.
You have come a long way from the Whole Foods lunch break jams. Congratulations. You sound amazing. He's giving you props right now. Let me throw this to you, gentlemen. Talk to us about like the dynamic with the band, because there's undoubtedly like this like team chemistry that's palpable here.
Yeah. So we actually we just make fun of each other all the time. That's pretty much all there is to it.
It's a whole lot of tough love.
Yeah, it's just
tough
like
love.
it's tough love. It's like you know, Emily might be like, you know, nervous for a show. Like we had our album release, and she's like, "Man, I'm really nervous," like just because it's like it's something that we've been building to. And I just come up and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be fine. It's either like it's gonna be totally fine or like, why are you being stupid? You know, like it's going to be fine. Yeah, like and that's the chemistry really.
Yeah, we tease each other a lot, but there's also so much constructive criticism that goes into it. There's a lot of
I almost feel like a family here.
Yeah, we spend
spend
a lot
so
of
much
hours
time in the
together.
car together. We call each other dad sometimes. Sorry, all of our respective fathers.
What's the basement where you practice like?
It's my basement.
Where's
in
it
my
at?
house. It's right by Charlottesville High School.
Okay.
What's the address?
2127 Carlton Drive.
We don't have to put that in front of 250,000 people.
If you want to send some fan mail, that'd be great. But no, just joking.
I don't suggest doing that.
But so basically, it's funny because I bought some stage lights, and it's just this nice little corner of my basement, and it's like carpeted.
Lots
it's a
of
nice
pets
house.
everywhere.
Pets everywhere. We got 2 pit bulls, like a bunch of cats just running around the house, and it's just a fun vibe. We just have fun. It is like we're a family.
You are the newest addition, Alex, to the band. Was it imposing, intimidating, approachable, welcoming? What was the vibe like when you came into this band? Because clearly, like a triangular
don't lie.
chemistry here.
Well, in the midst of Emily kind of gaining and losing other players, she hired me for a gig at Miller's, I think.
Oh yeah.
And we'd played a few times before that, and I was more familiar with the songs off of the previous album, the Emily Kresky album. And so we already kind of had a little bit of time working together, but the new content honestly really like speaks to me a lot more. I mean, like you were saying, a lot of songs about breakups, uncomfortable situations, being cheated on, those things that like really evoke emotions from anyone who's
It's relatable to everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it really it was easy to dive right in.
What's your favorite part of the music? The songwriting, the performing, the singing, the playing the guitar?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Do you have a favorite?
I mean,
would you characterize yourself as a passionate performer?
I didn't think I was for a
Yeah.
long time. I was really nervous. Actually, I was thinking about this the other day. My first gig, my first public performance was at this thing in Standersville called Frisbee Fest.
Okay.
And I didn't forget the words to the song, but I thought I did. So I was like having stage fright for no reason. I was like singing the words, but I was like, I don't remember. But like it was coming out. So I used to think I wasn't a performer, and I was just maybe a songwriter, but I've grown to really love it, and it's because of them. I think mostly like they make me feel so supported on stage and so comfortable, and like if I forget a chord, they got me, the rhythm, and it just makes it so much easier to do my job up front, and that's because of our close connection and our family vibes, and I just feel like it's such a tight unit that it makes me excited to perform. And we've talked about this before too, like there's certain songs where like Alex loves it or Niko loves it, and so it makes the rest of us love the song more when like one person's like, this is like my song. Mm-hmm. So it brings all of us.
Let's thank some of the people watching. That I'm going to throw you one more question, then get out of the way. Laura Kelly's watching. She says you guys sound amazing. Keith Humphrey, Travis Jackson, Kiddo Sullivan, David Russell Edwards, Howard Barnett, Eric Cope, Peter Daniel, that's just on your page alone. Victoria Allison, Paige Foster, Ashley McCoy, Kristen Danielle, April Porter. I mean, just a lot of folks right now. Give it a like, give it a share. Let me throw this to you. Last question before song 4. What's the dynamic like 3 guys and a female?
It's gross.
Niko said it. It's gross.
Yeah?
No, it's so great. I mean, I kind of feel like I get along with dudes better than females. I've always been like that, and like Niko said it the other night after our album release, we were hanging at Alex's house, and he was like, "You're kind of like my big sister and my little sister at the same time." And I was like, "That's kind of how it is with all of them. Like
I feel like Niko's the jokester.
He is. The two of them together, they're just going at it.
I'm keeping it tame right now.
You are? Why are you keeping it taped? Do we need another one?
Because he'll go way too young.
Is that what's going to happen? This is why we offer. I just want you to know.
But it's great. I mean, I feel totally myself around them, and I don't know, it makes it fun on the road. Like we all kind of just hang and joke together and rag on each other, and it makes me lighten up a little bit, 'cause sometimes I take things a little personally, and like they, make me not.
Right, this is the dynamic with 3 dudes. We played Would You Rather for 3 hours driving back from DC from a gig.
Really?
You can imagine how raunchy that gets.
He wasn't there.
Yeah.
It was gross. There was a lot of hair eating and imagination.
And she was right there.
I was making up some of the grossest ones.
Hers were the worst.
Yeah, I was like, hey, you guys, it's midnight. We're going to get back at 3 a.m. What do you say? We play Would You Rather?
I love it. I love this band. Dropping Julia is crushing it. Arden Cardilin. I'm butchering her last name.
Arden?
Yeah.
Oh, that's That's a man.
Sorry. Good job, Emily. Molly Walker, love you, Emmy. Joe McClain, Charmum M. Stephen Lee, awesome. Regina Alpaw, great job, Emily and Alex.
Nice.
Guys, like and share the feed on any stream that you are watching. Song 4, Aaron Slow and Ray Cadell and Bobby Castine. Welcome to the program. If I don't get to your name, it's because there are that many people watching right now. The show is yours. Song 4.
Okay, so song 4 is called Sallie Mae. It is an album song, and it's probably the one that most people know that we play. We submitted it to the Tiny Desk contest. We didn't win, but it was fun to make the video. We did it in Sean's backyard. It seems like all of our musical endeavors take place in Sean's basement and backyard. And this is the song that Niko said that I say in front of kids that it's about a brothel. I'll explain that more later.
Brothels, all right.
Yes. Was a fine young girl named Sallie Mae at the age of 17. She hopped the train, just made a name, moved down to New Orleans. With a handmade coat and a stronger soul, not a bad gal she did seem. But she learned to flirt, hacked her skirt, made those fellas scream. So go, go, Sallie Mae, back home, whence you came. Be ashamed outside us with your awful sins. But she said, no, no, I'm here to stay in the old brick house on Cherry Lane. Get in line, girls, I'll pour the gin. So Sallie Mae went door to door with an offer not to lose. Her certainty, they made a she can make no man refuse. A promenade, oh, Bill's face, young and so naive. Well, Sallie Mae lured them away, show them to their knees. So go, go, Sallie Mae, back home, whence you came. Be ashamed outside us being your awful sin. But she said, no, no, I'm here to stay in the old brick house on Cherry Lane. Get in line, girls, I'll pour the gin. We got Alex on the mandolin. You go on that bass. So go, go, Sallie Mae, back home, whence you came. Your shame not done us with your awful sin. No, she said, no, no, I'm here to stay in the old brick house on Cherry Lane. Get in line, girls, and go, go, Sallie Mae, back home, whence you came. Your shame not done us with your awful sin. But she said, no, no, I'm here to stay in the old brick house on Cherry Lane. Get in line, girls, I'll pour the gin. Get in line, girls, I'll pour the gin.
Dude, that song has the hook. That song has the hook.
It's the gang vocals.
Oh my gosh. Talk to us about that, dude. That was fire.
Thank you so much.
Fire.
That's probably our most favorite and fun one, our most fun one to play, especially when we have a lot of lead instruments. We have Alex usually on guitar, and then we have our friend John on the fiddle, who's on the album. And then sometimes we have Nick Birkin on the keys, and sometimes Gina Sobel, who's mostly in California, but she's here sometimes. She'll play sax and flute with us. So it's really fun, and we have a lot of peeps. And when we play Full Out, Sean takes a solo there too, but he reined it in this time. But that song is about, it's a total made-up story. None of this is real, but a little bit of the inspiration comes from this haunted bar in Memphis, Tennessee. If Caroline Young is watching this, she brought me there. It used to be a brothel back in the 1800s, and it closed. Supposedly someone died in there, like one of the prostitutes, and supposedly, sorry,
Dang.
just being real. I don't know.
I like it.
It's real. And now they turned it into a bar, but they didn't change anything about it. So there's still like like all the paint's come off the walls. Like it just looks like an abandoned building, but they put a bar. They didn't like turn on any big lights. It's just like little tiny lights, and you can drink beer in like bathrooms. It's so creepy. So I went there once, and it stuck with me. I was like, wow, this is really intense. You could feel it. Like it's definitely haunted. It's haunted. So anyway, fast forward to about 6 or 7 months ago. Michael Clem, he runs a weekly open mic at the local, which is so awesome.
He's the man.
He's the man.
He's come on the show 3 times.
Love him.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite people in Charlottesville, and
such an ambassador of
yes,
local artists.
He is. He really is. He's really, him and his open mic is really the reason I started feeling comfortable playing my songs in public.
That's awesome.
For sure.
I've heard that from a
100%.
lot of artists.
Yes.
You're the man, Michael.
He's the man. You're the man. It's totally true because he's so welcoming. The backing band at the open mic is so welcoming and so solid that it just made me feel so comfortable to be like, here's some chords. I'm not good at leading this, but here you go. And they just nail it. And it's so great. So anyway, he has a prompt every week, and you can or cannot write a song with the prompt in mind. It's always something different, like baseball. I don't know. Whatever. I can't think of one. But this particular one was unwanted guests. So I was like, that's kind of an interesting one. And I was just kind of playing with some chords, and Sean was there. We were hanging at my house, and it started to turn into this song about like this woman who lures men away, and it just kind of morphed and ended up being about a young girl who realized that she can flirt and be sexy, and she moved down to New Orleans, which is a super creepy and cool city, and back in the 1800s, this is, in my mind back then, and she opens up this house that ended up being a brothel, and she's starting to lure the girls away, or the guys away from their wives, and so she's a super unwanted guest in this town, but they can't get rid of her because she's just so powerful.
You got some, is Jenna watching in North Dakota?
Yeah.
Watching in North Dakota right now. New Mexico, North Dakota, South Carolina, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Long Island, D.C., Illinois watching right now.
That's crazy.
Cool.
Throw Front Porch in the mix.
Oh, yeah. Front Porch. Represent.
We love the Front
We
Porch.
love the Front Porch. We had our album released there last Saturday, and Emily Morrison, who's the executive director, made me cry. She rocks. She made me cry. And then I took
I'm
the
going to
stage.
effort to get her on the show.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
She's doing so much good in this community, and I'm so happy to be a part of that organization. It is a nonprofit roots music school, and it's also a music venue. I also work there, so I'm there all the time, and I love it. Love every minute of it. It's grown. I've been there for 2.5 years almost now, and I've grown, and it's grown, and I've grown with it. And it's just there's open jams, there's concerts, there's group classes on so many different instruments in so many different genres, like bluegrass and blues and folk and roots and et cetera, et cetera. So there's just always something going on, and she is also an ambassador for music in this community. I wholeheartedly believe it. So
I'll throw this out there. You guys go anywhere you want. Then I'm going to get out of the way for another song. First, Molly Walker is saying, Niko, turn that bass up, baby.
Oh, Molly.
Yeah, he's like, no
Molly.
problem, dog. Harris is
Don't
like,
encourage him,
don't
Molly.
encourage him. It's right over there.
It's a problem. I will turn it up way too loud.
We'll all just get off the
We
stage.
will keep it down. We will keep it down. We are in literally a commercial building on Market Street in the downtown district. And last week we had Disco Risque on the show.
Oh yeah, they're loud.
They were loud.
They're awesome.
Did you hear what
Loud and
happened?
proud.
How the show finished?
No.
Charlottesville's finest, banging on the door, screaming, "Let us
That
in!"
is so perfect.
It
for
was
Disco
such a
Risque.
great finish.
Oh my
The
god.
band loved it. I
So
loved
fitting.
it. Banging on the door, saying the show stops right now.
we had a cop story. We were filming that song that we just played, Sallie Mae,
Yep.
and a cop came and broke it up
For the
Really?
Tiny Desk
Yep.
submission,
For
right?
the Tiny
We wish
Desk
we got him
submission.
in the video so
He was
bad.
really nice about it, though.
Yeah.
He let us finish, and he came up. He's like, "Hey, I think that song was great, but y'all are way too loud."
This particular, and I love the police. Okay, I'm not knocking anybody that's in the police. Okay, I'm not doing that. This particular officer said, no. There is no finishing.
Oh
We are
my God,
stopping right
really?
now. But fortunately, it was on song 5.
Wow.
So we're already at the end of the
Cool.
show.
That's so the Beatles.
Emily, Roby, Morrison, love these peeps. Love these peeps.
We love Emily.
We love you, Emily.
Let me just throw this out there. Maybe start with you, Alex. Local music, Charlottesville in general, fostering talented artists. And there's venues everywhere. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many really talented musicians in this town for how small it is. Yeah, it's really amazing. I think places like the Front Porch are one of the culprits for that. Charlottesville High School has one of the most, infamous music teachers around. I went to Renaissance, around the block right up there.
J Pun, baby.
Yes, sir. Well, that and Justin Esposito, Greg Brown, all those guys were teachers over there. Daniel McCarthy. There's just so many talented people in this town, and a lot of venues receptive to having people, who are maybe on the cusp of being ready to perform on a Saturday night, but
allowing them to refine their craft in front of a live audience.
That's right.
And
Very
it's like,
forgiving audience.
yeah, and it's like you are, like the venue you practice in front of. I mean, if you're only playing in the basement in front of nobody, I mean, how can you get better?
That's true.
So I mean, Jed Boden is giving you some props. He says, "Woot woot woot."
What's up, Jed?
Next song. Can we do 2 more?
Yeah, we can do like a million more.
You guys are crushing it. Harris, are you okay with that? Harris loves it. Okay. Show is yours, Emily.
Y'all want to do Into Temptation?
Yeah.
Okay. So
You like that one?
Yeah.
This song's got a lot of great dynamics, and it's a very pulsating rhythm section to it.
Yeah.
Get that studio cam looking good, Judah. The top of the I Love CVille up there. And get that new instrument we got in the mix to get some readings. Show is yours, Emily.
Cool. If Brian Craddock is listening to this one goes out to you because I co-wrote this song with him down in Nashville last April, right before Jazz Fest, right before I stole Niko from having fun. And this is called Into Temptation. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lead me now to New Orleans. Don't let me drown. Mississippi Queen, I'll find you by the twisted oak, your pale white gown laced with smoke. No one has to know. Deep into the night, you warp my mind, lay me down into temptation. Oh, please deliver me your salvation. Can't resist your call, my sweet siren song. Won't you lay me down into temptation? Into temptation. Lead me through your darkest dreams and tangled roots. Pull me underneath. A quiet hymn begins to grow into black water sinking low. And no one has to know. Deep into the night, you warp my mind, lay me down into temptation. Oh, please deliver me your salvation. Can't resist your call, my sweet siren song. Won't you lay me down into temptation? Into temptation. Deep into the night, oh, you warp my mind, lay me down into temptation. Oh, please deliver me your salvation. Can't resist your call, my sweet temptation. Into temptation.
Yeah! So good.
Love that one.
I love that one too, dude. That has the hook as well. I mean, that was so effing dynamic right
we're
there.
suckers for endings that just cut you off.
I love the cutoff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a cliffhanger.
Yeah, exactly.
Mike Hagee, get it, Sean?
Oh, what's up,
Get
Mike?
it.
Is it Aisha? She says cool and is giving Niko some props.
Oh.
Guys, give it a like, give it a share on any feature. Watching Mr. Belmont from the singer-songwriter night on open mic night at the local Jehu Martin.
Jehu
Is watching.
We
He
love
says
Jehu.
great in so many ways.
Thank you.
Jim Bingler, Emily, you rock. Love your music. Is this your brother or one of your family members, Mike?
Dad.
Yeah, is that your dad? He says, y'all rock, turn it up, Niko.
Oh my God.
City Council candidate Bellamy Brown is watching. Harvey Mayorga is watching. John Kelly, Hunter Blackwell, thank you kindly for joining us. Talk to us about the song we just heard.
So that song was really fun to write. It was co-written. It was actually it was a few of us. I was driving down to Jazz Fest with my two friends, Daryl and Tori. Daryl was playing with me at the time, and we decided to stop off in Nashville and spend a day doing a writing session with our friend Brian Craddock. So we piled in his studio at like 9 a.m. after getting into Nashville at like 1 a.m. So we got a few hours of sleep, and it was me and Daryl and Tori and Cheryl, my friend Cheryl, and my friend Ashley and Brian. So these guys weren't there, but they helped produce it afterwards. But it was awesome. We sat in the room. We were like, we didn't have like anything in mind. We were like, let's just try something. Let's just get from here until the end of the day that we're here. Let's have a song written. And we were all, me, Tori, and Daryl were going on to New Orleans after. So we were all obviously really inspired by the trip and the journey and the fact that we're going to this amazing city with so much music in it. So we were like, let's have that in mind. So it's kind of it's like a seducting song, and it's about I guess it's just kind of about a woman in New Orleans who, it's kind of just like Sallie Mae. But it's just a heavy song about love and passion, and it's more of a ideas than a specific thing. But
Who are your musical influences and the people and music you look up to?
oh gosh, Billie Eilish is the newest one. Niko showed me her, and I've been listening to her ever since. She's super, super awesome. The Beatles, they were the first band that I ever really heard on vinyl, especially. I was a kid when my dad would play them. It's a lot. I have a really big range of influences, and I realized it recently. It's because of different times in my life when I went through different periods of my own self. So, when I was a kid, I listened to the Beatles, and then I grew up and became an emo teenager, and I started listening to like Taking Back Sunday, and I definitely have some emo influences in my music. And then when I, was later in high school and early 20s, I was really into like Sublime and different, rock and reggae, Dispatch and Pepper,
Dispatch.
Slightly Stupid. Yeah, all those things. And then, when I got a little bit older, when I came to Charlottesville, actually, I started to get into a lot of like the roots and old time bluegrass. And like old country. So I love Hank Williams Sr. I love Johnny Cash, Loretta Lynn, John Prine, Patsy Cline. I just all it's a hodgepodge. And more recently, into like the Meters and different funk bands and going to New Orleans, Wild Chapatulas. I got really into them. They're like the original band from that city, and so it's a lot. I like 90s music a lot too. Tracy Chapman and 90s pop and rock and Red Hot Chili Peppers and Amy Winehouse. Thanks for mouthing another influence. So yeah, it's a lot.
You guys have the Southern watching right now. You
It's
guys
Southern.
got the folks at the Pavilion watching right now. I mean, I think you guys need a book, Dropping Julia for a Gig. Just saying, just putting that out there. Like and share the stream anywhere you're watching. Jed says, get it. It sounds absolutely awesome, y'all. We got one more. Can we do one more?
Sure.
We can do 5 more if you'd like. But yeah, when we
What do you guys have nothing to do today?
Nope.
Yeah, I love it.
Just work.
I love it. When's the next gig?
We're playing
Rockfest.
We're playing Rockfest on Monday Memorial Day, and we're really excited about it. It's a 2-day festival at Ix Park, and we're playing alongside Disco Risque and
Yes.
Ruckus the Bulldog and Lolita and
Pale Blue Dot.
Puddle of mud.
Puddle of Mud. Whoa, Tantric, Jimmy's Chicken Shack from Maryland. It's gonna
Great
be
lineup.
So, yes.
Amazing
We're very
lineup.
excited about that. So that's
When's
a
the
nice
set
day.
that day? 3:30?
We're at 4 o'clock.
When do I have to show up?
I knew it was sometime around there. Get out of here, Niko.
Show is yours, Emily.
Do you guys?
Am I asleep?
Yeah.
Should we do it? Should we do it?
This is our
Yeah.
newest song.
This is the song that Niko said reminds him of Billie Eilish. When I was young, I thought I knew the way. Like they always say, you closed the door and I was on display. I'm not your baby, I'm still a baby. When I said maybe, oh, why'd you think that you could go and change me? So you can touch me, and you can hush me, and then when you had enough, you're gonna flush me. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm still grinding in my sleep, drowning in my sheets, running from my dreams. You're still creeping up the street, you're clawing at my feet, 'cause you're coming for the rest of me. Yeah, you're coming for the rest of me. When I was young, I thought you knew the way. I believed everything you'd say. You closed the door and told me I should stay. But won't you tame me? I'll be your baby. When I said maybe, oh, I really thought that you were gonna save me. So you can touch me, and you can hush me, and then when you've had enough, I'm just a hussy. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm still grinding in my sleep, drowning in my sheets, running from my dreams. You're still creeping up the street, you're clawing at my feet, 'cause you're coming for the rest of me. Yeah, you're coming for the rest of me. You think we're all the same. When morning comes our way, they will know your name. Now you'll be on display. I'm not your baby, you must be crazy. When I said maybe, oh, why'd you think that you were gonna cage me? So you can touch me, and you can hush me. But man, I've had enough of all these bad dreams. Oh yeah, yeah. Of all these bad dreams. Oh yeah. I'm still grinding in my sleep, drowning in my sheets, running from my dreams. You're still creeping up the street, you're clawing at my feet, 'cause you're coming for the rest of me. I'm still grinding in my sleep, drowning in my sheets, running from my dreams. 'Cause
Good one. Very good. Fire, dude. I feel I got goosebumps right now on the set. Christy Cruz says, hey, Sean, hey. Giving you some props right now. Guys, give it a like, give it a share. Mike, your dad goes, yes, I was hoping you were going to play that one right there. Kaiten Reynolds, am I saying her first name right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she says, I saw them last week. She works at the front porch.
She does.
Yeah, I saw you last week at the front porch. You guys absolutely rock the front porch. Give it a like, give it a share. Emily, talk to us about the song.
This is probably the most personal song I've ever written. It's about, you know, a lot of like issues going on these days with sexual harassment and issues like that, feminism issues. This one kind of just came out of me, and it was the chorus says, "I'm still grinding in my sleep," and so the original inspiration was because I sometimes have bad anxiety just from like things I've went through and things that have happened to me in life, and I recently, in like the past year, I feel like I've been having bad dreams and grinding my teeth in my sleep when that happened. So it's like a very physical thing that I can tell the whole next day, like my jaw hurts, and it's a symptom of other things that have happened in life. So that was where it came from, and the song it's about just things that I went through when I was a young teenager with dealing with how to understand myself in the world as a young female, and how males are treating me, and how society's telling me I should act around males, and how to get attention, and just all the confusing things that happen to girls when we grow up.
You, maybe it's different with a mic and a guitar in your hand, but with a mic in front of you and a guitar in your hand, you're so self-assured and confident, and like have an incredible self-awareness and like incredible like sense of the moment. And I feel like you're just this badass.
Thank you.
I totally mean that.
Thank you so much.
I want to throw this to you here. Talk to us about the feelings of like showcasing vulnerability in such a public way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're going to have 250,000 people hear your lyrics
Yeah.
about broken hearts, getting cheated on, love lost, love gained, all the above here. Vulnerability, and then also the juxtaposition between you as a performer and a musician, and when you're not a performer and a musician, and what's like the same and different. Tough question.
Yeah, I'm not sure I get the last part. So how, like...
Are you a different person when you're
I'm
performing?
not,
Yeah.
Okay, so I actually just had a really awesome conversation with my boss, Emily Morrison, who saw our show, and she hosted it, and she had some really great feedback, and she really pays attention, to when people are speaking and anything they're doing, really. So she was like, she told me that my inspiration and my creativity comes from a dark place. Like it's harder for me to write a happy song. My deep inspiration comes from dark things that have happened to me, or dark things I see in the world. And so she was like, you really need to be able to access that and harness it so you can always create this art, but still be able to interact with the world and not get self-destructive like I have been in the past. Or like, a lot of people have been in their past. So it's, I feel like that conversation, and just, the past few months or the past year of just getting more comfortable with who I am, I've really tried to just embrace the fact that my songwriting and a lot of art comes from a dark place, and that so many more people actually go through those things too and can relate. So the more honest I am in my songs, the more people are going to relate to them. And so I feel like I've just really tried to embrace that.
So like the music is a therapy for you, and in a lot of ways, the people that are listening, it could be therapy for them.
Yeah, and it's easier to digest, I think, as a 3-minute song, because sometimes I used to do creative writing, and I would try to write stories. I always loved writing, and it was almost overwhelming to me, and sometimes too intense. Like I would just write too much, and I'm like, no one's gonna want to read this. But it seems like
it's approachable.
Yeah, it's approachable, and it's easier for people to see. Okay, it's a 3-minute thing. I can see these different themes in the song, and I relate to it, but then when it's over, I can go back to my life.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. You guys rock. How about one more? Yeah. And you and I the 3 of us had a moment here when the sirens were going by.
Yeah, I saw that.
The 3 of us were like, oh shit, are the cops coming
It's
again?
us. It's time for us.
We got to wrap it up. They were going somewhere else, thank God.
I think Alex is going to say
Sort of
something
on that
else.
note, though, the Sallie Mae thing is turned into like a trilogy epic.
Yes,
It's
yes.
that like, those long creative writing ideas have kind of like been
True.
dissected into multiple pieces, and it's like turned into this like big story
Yeah.
that overarches like
that has
multiple
one theme.
albums
we have
now.
3
Yeah.
songs that have like the brothel in mind. So it is like one
love it.
idea.
It's
This
like
character
Kill
of
Bill.
Sallie Mae.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I totally love it. Michael Clem is watching. He says, yes, you guys sound great. Rusty Spidell is watching right now. 2 awesome musicians. Fellas, you tuned in right at the perfect time here. The whole show will be archived on ilovecville.com. We're going to send all the content to Emily and the gang and Dropping Julia. They can do whatever. You have absolute rights to it.
Thank you so much for
Show
having
is
us.
yours.
Seriously.
Yeah,
been
this
fun.
has been so much fun.
Seriously,
I love it.
it's been fun. What are we thinking?
What are we thinking? Ghost of?
Should we or Ghost of Talking Smack?
Talking Smack.
Yeah, Talking
Talking
Smack would probably be
All
easier.
right, this is a fun one, and it was on my solo album, so it's an older song, but it's the most fun to play with these guys. So we're gonna let them talk some smack. Life is just one big mess spun around. You chew up old and you knock to the ground. You push me back to yesterday and invited me to feel this way. If you're not talking smack, then you're running around. Infamous land judgment, majesty, majesty makes you crawl around on your knees, on your knees. You both stand smiling to the land. It's time to fall. I'll take your hand. Money buys a pair of eyes to see. Well, life is just one big mess spun around. You chew up old and you knock to the ground. You push me back to yesterday and you invited me to feel this way. If you're not talking smack, then you're running around. Talk some smack, Alex. Dressing for the fight don't mean a thing. Getting drunk and nothing without swing. But down south in humble fight, you're hungry for the grand surprise. A plastic smile and a big fat diamond ring. Well, life is just a man hugging you down. You hear the fighter back, go play the clown. Well, you look surprised at the big skies. There's not for you but for those guys. If you're not talking smack, then you're running around. If you're not talking smack, then you're running around. One more time. If you're not talking smack, then you're running around. Oh, yeah.
So good, so fun. You guys have such a good time playing too.
We do.
I mean, throw that to you guys. I mean, I can tell everyone's smiling ear to ear right now, like heady vibes on set right now. Talk to me about that.
One of the coolest things about us playing together is sometimes Niko will just play a random bass solo that we weren't expecting, and he'll rip it, and I'll just be like, but it's like this song is really good for solo artists, for soloing artists. So whenever we have somebody sit in with us, it's normally a different person. We don't know what they're gonna play. We don't even know what instrument most of the time. Sometimes it's a mandolin. Sometimes it's an accordion. Sometimes it's
Truth.
lead guitar, sax, flute. It's just a really fun showcasing song. Where it's just like, here's the chorus. It's pretty straightforward, and then take it away, whoever wants to take it. And it's always a fun time.
It's a jam, man.
Nice
It's just
swing.
Yeah,
blues,
it's just
not
a
quite
swing
12
jam.
bars.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I think it's definitely something that we all love to do, and I feel like that's what you're seeing is just like I would rather be doing this than anything else, you know, and he loves to sleep. And I know I could have been sleeping right now. I was gonna be I thought I was so late when when I showed up. I was the last person here, but
What time did you get here?
Right around noon.
Yeah, like noon. It wasn't. Well, no, it's because he called me and woke me up, and I was like, oh no.
Oh my gosh. Good job.
Well done.
You learned from the
live
last time
close?
when you didn't call him, and he.
I was close by. Yeah, I was close by. It worked out. It all worked out.
You're having a sleepover. All right, that's a. You don't have to answer. You don't have to answer. All right, we'll close on this here.
Yes.
Where can we learn more about Dropping Julia? Shows you're playing, music, all the above.
Cool. So since we just released our album Wake Up, it's on all the regular streaming sites, so you can hear it on Spotify, iTunes, and also YouTube and Bandcamp and anything else you can think of, really. And then our website is droppingjulia.com. Facebook is facebook.com/droppingjulia, and our Instagram is instagram.com/droppingjulia or @droppingjulia. So really, just Dropping Julia is all over across the board, and we just got some T-shirts and stickers and stuff. So you'll probably be seeing us around town with them. But yeah, you can find us all over. You can find our shows on Facebook and the website.
I love it. If you guys have a sticker, I'd love to add you to the shelf of fame here.
Oh,
You drop it off another time.
yes.
I'll bring one over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. They rock, guys. We'll have
Thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank
it
you.
was a pleasure.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Seriously, it was a pleasure. For the next 30 to 45 days on the I Love CVille network, we will syndicate this show, guys. We appreciate you joining us and watching us. The show in totality will be archived on ilovecville.com. Dropping Julia is badass, badass, badass. Give them some love anytime you see them out and about around Charlottesville, the Commonwealth, the Mid-Atlantic, wherever it may be. Go to their show, buy a ticket, or just go to the show and support them. Thank you for joining us. Have a good weekend. We are going to have a safe but debaucherous Memorial Day weekend. We hope you do the same. Be safe.
Be safe.
Have fun. Be safe. We know Charlottesville's finest will be out, so be safe. We close the show the same way every time, and it's by encouraging everybody to embody the golden rule. I'm not making this about religion. I'm making this about treating other people how you want to be treated yourself. If you do that, it will have an amazingly positive viral effect across our community, and Charlottesville and Central Virginia need it more than ever. True. The golden rule, guys. I'm Jerry Miller for the I Love CVille Show and Dropping Julia. Have a good weekend.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
You guys rock. Niko.
Woo!
Appreciate you.
That was so fun. Thank you for making it so easy.
Crushed it.
So much.
Crushed it. We went, thank you. We went 81 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, hell yeah. No rules. No rules here. Yeah. So we got to get the promo pick. We'll do here. That's the last thing. I would say hold on to the